get together on the day today, and we hit the dance so we can complain because life is good. Whoa, so good, so good, so good, so good. We get together on the day today, and we hit the dance so we can complain because life is good. Whoa, so good.
Your choice is to expand your business, or we shut you down entire.
I ain't interested.
He's offering you a way out. Pug wants his money.
Check that pickle. And if they ain't got my money, kill those sons of...
1, 2, 3, 4.
How did you get this number?
Is everything all right?
My brother's been murdered.
Oh, that's awful. How?
He got shot with a crossbow. They're inexplicably popular where I come from. I suppose I have to go home.
You sure do look like him.
I think that's what they mean by identical. Brady, what the hell is going on? I guess I kind of got resurrected.
What? You had him tell me you were dead? Well, all right, I'm sorry about that, but there weren't no other way for me to get you to come down here. Here's the thing. If I don't get up to Tulsa, I'm gonna be in some real trouble. I need you to be me, just like we used to back at home. We don't even look alike anymore. Has that occurred to you? What do you think? You've given yourself the stupidest haircut in human history.
So Bolger says you're a famous banker.
Real famous.
And they pay you for that?
Yeah. She's a poet. I tried to get her and Colleen a three-way once, but wouldn't neither of them go for it. This here's where I keep it alive. Hey. How is it possible that you are so brilliant and so ignorant at the same time?
Yeah, I don't think so.
No?
You know what you was getting into with him, and he sure ain't going away.
So, now you want me to be nice.
You got a higher IQ than your brother, and he just passed you by.
It ain't gotta go this way. Why would you want it to look like a hate crime? Bring it on. So it don't look like a drug crime.
Test. Yo. What up?
I don't have my goddamn headphones on. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can I hear me? I can hear me.
I turned your level up a little bit because you're soft-spoken.
I'm a little. Well, when I just get down into this lower register, I gotta talk like this.
And then I'm just want to talk so no one else.
Yeah, you like to bully the conversation.
Yeah. Well, when I've got something to say.
You're an asshole.
Well, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here and I have a shaved face.
Yeah, and
First time on camera.
I don't even think you can really see this because of the lighting, but I have a handlebar. I'll be shaving that soon. So follow up from, okay. So this week, you watched Leaves of Grass.
I did. Edward Norton.
Yes,
and,
Edward Norton and some other people.
I am a big Edward Norton fan. Have been for many years.
Well, don't jump in yet.
All right.
We got a follow-up.
Oh, yeah.
We have a couple follow-ups.
What were we doing?
Well, we had
did you
one.
watch it again?
I didn't. Oh. So I'm going to give up. I didn't do my assignment, but...
That's okay.
I
you
want
can watch
you
it again.
Yeah. Eventually. Should you not tell me? I kind of want you to tell me.
I'll just tell you.
Yeah.
So back to Inception really quickly.
Yes. Just you said that Leo had a different totem. I knew that the top wasn't his, but I thought it was his now. But you're saying he has a completely different one.
Yeah.
What is that?
It is his wedding ring.
I didn't even know he had a wedding ring.
He does.
So what makes you think it's a totem? I'll have to go back and watch. Does he do something with it, or does he just fidget with it? Because
he's only wearing it when he's dreaming.
What? I would have never caught that.
You have to really pay attention.
Yeah, I could have probably watched it 5 more times until I just got so crazy.
Yeah.
And paused every frame.
Yeah. So you know definitively when he's... Is it when he's dreaming? He's either wearing it all the time when he's dreaming and not when he's awake, or vice versa. I can't remember.
So the final scene
you have to look to see whether or not he's wearing the wedding ring, and they do a really good job at hiding his left hand.
And is there any?
I can't remember. I mean, I wasn't paying attention enough to watch it. I mean, to like.
How could you? Because that's the first thing that came to mind. You haven't paid attention in the final scene to see.
I mean, I have. It's just.
Well, what'd you come up with there, bud?
I was just watching it for fun when I watched it.
Oh, okay.
Just to make sure I absorbed all of it, just in case I missed something.
You like.
Oh, whatever.
Ending, like the ending scene. In case you miss something, like the ending scene where you want to see if he has his ring on or not. All right. Anyway, okay, I'll watch it again and look out for that.
By the way, these are so good. We should get Nespresso to sponsor us.
Yeah.
Or some kind of soda water. Huh?
Yeah,
we need some kind of non-alcoholic drink.
Yes, because neither of us drink.
We're both boozeless.
I drank a ton of coffee this morning. Diet Pepsi Wild Cherry. That's my... I always drink... I had 2 large pots of coffee this morning. Not pots, but cups.
I usually have 2 large cups in the morning.
Yeah.
One if I have to work, I'll have one, and then I'll drink coffee when I get to work.
Yeah.
But if on my days off, I drink 2 big ol' 12, 16-ounce cups.
I drink them too quick, so it hits me different when I'm at work and I'm like working, then I take a sip and then do some more work. When I'm just here, just slugging them back.
Oh yeah, I could just sit in front of the news, watch the news, and just drink coffee for like an hour and a half.
Yeah. Okay, second follow-up.
Okay.
Found 0 information. So I looked. It is Roberge.
It's not Rebecca or Roberta?
No, it's Roberge. So it's their last name. And I tried to Googled Roberge, Seattle painter, because on the back it said something like art of something Seattle. And I tried to look for it. So no update on that.
Okay, well, I prefer the name Roberta.
You don't like Roberge? That's a last name, so yeah, we'll go with Roberta.
We could just call it Roberta Roberge.
That is terrible. That's the word. Imagine if somebody named their kid. I mean, her name could be Roberta. It's possible.
She looks like a Roberta to me.
She looks like something. She definitely looks
She's
like
a baby.
I'm still holding on to the fact that might be a really old, valuable painting.
It's probably not.
It's definitely not. Third follow-up. We have a new prop.
Oh, I see that. That you just won.
What? Yeah. Oh, I won it?
I don't know.
Forgot.
Well, you either won it or stole it.
What is that from?
From our competition. Are we talking about the competition on this too?
I just was wondering.
We know.
What did I win it from?
You went. Okay.
What
so
did
we
we
did
do?
this for those of you who are just joining us.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it before. But
Have
some
we
of our... No, I don't think we've talked about it before, but some
Okay,
of
so
our
it is the
buddies-
month of November now.
Yeah.
Last month we did, me and Kyle and a couple of friends of ours, we did this we're doing this monthly competition for the whole winter basically, where we choose a project or craft or talent or whatever.
Just a hobby.
A hobby. And there goes the dynamite. Your dogs are dead.
That might be...
That was definitely the laundry basket that just rolled down the stairs.
Which isn't as bad, I don't think.
As
but
the
let me go
Pause,
make sure I have dogs still.
I'll just explain it while you're gone.
Okay.
Okay, so we do this thing where we pick a hobby every month, and then we have the whole month to accomplish it, and then at the end of the month we'll turn in our projects and judge them. And last month, during the month of October, we chose a woodworking project, and Kyle decided to do a mug that he has with him because he wanted to show off. The rest of us didn't really accomplish much. I didn't even turn in my project because it wasn't worthy, and that's fine. I'm not really in it to win it. I'm just in it to be a part of the group.
No, that's not true.
I tried, but then at the end I gave up.
Well, I'll give you...
Once I saw yours, I was like, oh, fuck me.
Well, yeah. Just so everybody knows. I don't know what he told you about the competition, but...
It's a mug.
It's a mug. Look at the handle.
Hold it
Beautiful.
in camera view. Oh, okay.
Yeah, beautiful. And
It's
then the
nice,
mug.
it is.
And then there's a little flag here.
It's cool.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's functional.
And then you just do a cop out and be like, oh, I wasn't in it to win it.
Well,
you wanted to win. Well, I'll give you credit because only 3 of us
actually did it.
Yeah.
There were 5 of us to begin with. 2 of them legit dropped out and didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
The other 2 of us, me and one other guy, we finished ours, but we didn't even really turn him in because we knew Kyle had basically won.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Did you talk
Let's
about?
Get some reverb on this. Woo.
Did you talk about reverb?
Yeah.
That's why we have blankets on the walls.
Want to, no, but I'm talking about like just to make it. If I wanted to sing, it would make my voice sound cool.
Oh, you like auto tune? You think?
I don't like auto tune.
That's what reverb is, kind of, right?
No, auto tune is like changing the pitch.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. What did you talk about? What November is?
Oh no, I did not. Okay, so the November task hobby goal is a short story. No less than 1,000 words.
Mm-hmm.
No cap.
Yeah.
So you can write it as short or long as you want, as long as it's over 1,000 words. It can be about anything, fiction or nonfiction. We have this friend. I know this guy who's an accomplished writer / publisher, and we're gonna turn them all into him, and he's gonna read them, and then he's gonna pick the winner.
Yeah, and then 2 of you already shared ideas with each other, and then you're leaving me out of that. I shared the idea that I'm not gonna use. But you wouldn't tell me what it was.
No, I did tell you.
No, you
didn't. The screenplay idea.
Yeah, but that's all you said. That's not sharing your idea. You're just like...
No, I'm not going to tell you... I'm not going to talk about my screenplay idea on the podcast because I haven't...
You wouldn't tell me... Okay. You wouldn't tell me off the podcast
because we were standing around people. I don't want anybody to hear it because I don't want any... Because it is a legit, really good idea, and I don't want anybody to steal it.
Well, yeah. People do that.
And people do that. So I really have to be careful about talking about it because if I really want to write it, I don't want it to get out there.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so...
Even though it's probably not going to be that good.
Well, it could be.
Well,
Who knows? Could be creative, could not be.
It's a really good idea. Well, if I do... Maybe I'll tell you after this, and you'll be like, that is a good idea.
Okay. I like it. It better be...
It's a good idea.
Is it pretty original?
I mean,
So you come at me like, oh, it's a sitcom and there's a married couple and the guy's always messing up and the girl is always like, what are you doing? And he's like, hey, everybody loves Raymond.
Yeah. But it's not. It is not like that. I have a very solid base idea.
All right.
And I have a title. I have a title of the show.
A working title.
A working title.
I don't know the difference, but I've heard that phrase before.
Working
all right.
title.
Hobbies, yes. I'm excited for the short stories. This one I'm going to have to work hard at.
Yeah, I'm going to have to work on it at least a couple of days a week.
Yeah, it won't come to me naturally like wood carving. It's just, something you do some YouTubing on. I like creativity. That's why I thought a short story competition would be fun. It's getting it on paper might be tough for me.
Well, you're going to type it.
I'm rather illiterate. Not illiterate, but I don't write so good. So anyway...
Or pronounce words.
Or it's just names mostly, and a couple words.
And a couple of words.
And they're not easy words, though.
They are.
They're not. Okay, so moving on.
They're American words that are used fairly often, and you just can't pronounce them.
Oh, do you use facetious a lot?
It's facetious.
Facetious.
No.
Facetious.
Note at the end.
Facetious.
Just let's go one syllable at a time.
Okay.
Facetious.
Facetious.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah, really sketchy.
We're gonna get you I don't like therapy.
What do you think? I got an impediment? For certain words. I think I might be dyslexic.
I think you might be too. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, it's all good. I made it.
This one bitch I knew.
Far.
I switched up 2 numbers one time, and then she was just like, from then on, was just like, oh, it's okay, you're dyslexic. And I was like, fuck you, you don't even know me.
Was she just like a fellow student?
She
or
was like
she
someone I worked with, and
okay.
I just
not
like,
a doctor.
No, not, and she was way younger than me, and she just like from then on, anytime I messed up anything, she was like, "It's okay, you're dyslexic," and I was like, "Oh, you're a bitch."
That's
you're like being really offensive right now.
Like I say it sometimes,
but I couldn't get mad at her because she was technically my boss, so I like.
Oh yeah, not a coworker, a boss. Well, that's highly inappropriate for a boss.
It was.
Like, you're dyslexic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't sound like she was making fun of you. She just diagnosed.
She was self-diagnosing me as a 22-year-old little girl.
Because you said 12 instead of 21.
And it wasn't even that. It was like I said 12 before 21 when on the paper it was 21 and then 12.
Yeah. So yeah.
Whatever.
All right.
Okay, so Leaves of Grass. I watched it. For those of you who haven't seen it, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It's an older movie. I don't even remember when it came out. I looked it up for a second, but then I forgot.
Yeah. And then I did some, because it's, Leaves of Grass was a book written by Walt Whitman. I did some research.
I didn't know that until the end of the movie.
Yeah. So, and I didn't, to be honest, I don't know who Walt Whitman is, but I read it and I was like, oh, maybe it's.
You read the book?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I thought, oh, the book is, it would be kind of a weird book to write. It turns out not related at all, really. Leaves of Grass is a series of poems.
Right.
Walt Whitman was born in like the early 1800s.
Right.
And
he dead.
Yeah, he real dead. But
he's famous.
He kept on writing poems. He published, I don't remember, but I just was reading the summary of his life. He published like 9 versions of Leaves of Grass. That's like all he did. He had one or a couple others, but he just kept adding poems to Leaves of Grass and just kept on republishing. And
I'm going to write something down so I don't forget it, because I want to ask you a question later, but I also don't want to ask it right now because it pertains to the end of the movie.
Okay. We'll get there. But anyway, yeah, the movie has nothing to do with the book Leaves of Grass. Really, the only correlation that I could figure out was that Did
you watch it recently?
Yeah, I watched it the other night.
Okay.
One guy, basically Edward.
Wait, let me go over the synopsis of the movie.
We'll let you do a summary and then.
Okay, so Leaves of Grass basically is a movie about these two brothers that are twins. Edward Norton plays both of them.
And they did a pretty good job of
really,
that.
And this was my favorite part about the movie is Edward Norton's performance as both brothers.
Characters
is very good and well defined. He does a very specific voice for each brother.
Yeah. And they're
mannerisms,
completely opposite.
Completely opposite kinds of people. So is it Billy and Brady?
Yeah, Billy and Brady.
So Billy is a accomplished academic professor,
like a philosopher,
writer,
basically.
Yeah, he's at a very high level. I can't remember what university, but
he was getting interviewed to go to
Brown. Was it Brown? I think it was Brown.
Yeah,
one of those Ivy Leagues, and so he's doing his job, educating, professing, whatever, blah blah blah, and then his brother Brady lives back home in Oklahoma, in small town Oklahoma.
I think it's Idabel or something.
Little Dixie.
Real
podunk.
Yeah.
But he's a weed grower and seller.
Yeah.
And at this point in his life, he's fairly accomplished at it, but he's like borrowed all this money and stuff from this other guy.
Yeah, Pug,
who's played by Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah, I like Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss is amazing.
Yeah.
Pause. Have you ever seen the movie? Obviously, you've seen Jaws, but have you ever seen the movie Mr. Holland's Opus?
No.
Oh, it's one of my favorite Richard Dreyfuss movies.
Mr. Holland.
Mr. Holland's.
Mr. Holland's.
His name is Mr. Holland, so it's plural. Mr. Holland's, as in it, but like plural possessive. Not plural possessive. Mr. Holland's Opus, and it's about him as a music teacher back in like the 70s or 80s.
What's an opus?
It's like a symphony.
Oh, so it's his symphony.
Basically.
Okay.
He's the basic plotline of that movie is he is trying to write this amazing masterpiece of a symphony, and he's not making very much money. So then he gets a job as a music teacher at a high school, and he hates it. But then over the 30-40 years of the movie, he turns into this amazing teacher, and everyone falls in love with him. And he also continues to write this symphony while educating all these students, and it's a really great movie.
It sounds terrible.
Well, you think everything sounds terrible.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It just, yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's probably
you think
good.
Everything sounds
well,
terrible.
Like if you explain Good Will Hunting, it'd be like, wow, that sounds really boring. But until you see the acting of the movie,
right?
Have you seen Good Will Hunting?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I mean, when certain movies, like if you explain Batman.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, there's a guy. I mean, that one it's like, oh, there's all this action, and this guy's gonna blow up the city, and then he blows up a football stadium to start.
But he masquerades as a bat.
Yeah,
it's kind of. I mean, it definitely sounds. I mean, to someone who didn't know anything about Batman.
Yeah.
Just the name Batman is
like,
what?
If you just didn't know anything about it, and you're like, oh, like when they came out with Ant-Man, I was like, wow, that sounds terrible.
Wow.
But Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd's good.
I haven't seen it, but. I don't watch those types of movies, but
I do.
Anyway, Richard Dreyfuss.
Anyway, so Richard Dreyfuss has supplied Brady with all of this equipment and money, and basically funded his weed operation, and Brady is like super in debt to him.
Yeah. Why is Brady so good at it?
At the weed selling?
No, at the growing.
I don't remember.
Did you pick up that he's actually has a higher IQ than
Billy? Oh, yeah.
Than because the professor.
Right, because they are twins.
Yes, they are.
They just kind of went on different paths.
Yeah.
And Billy decided to go into academics, and Brady decided to go into the weed biz, but they're both equally brilliant.
Yeah, but he has like super crazy hydroponic, alkaline, all these words, and he has a great setup, and he grows the best weed. So not
for Oklahoma.
Probably. Well, he's
He's not like he's Walter White of weed, but
I think they kind of do portray him as that. Like he's got a better
IQ. But it doesn't seem like. I mean, in the movie, it doesn't seem like they have this huge operation where they're shipping out of state.
No. That
kind of thing.
No.
It's a pretty basic storyline about the Billy getting called back to go home because, well, basically Brady makes it seem like he got killed. So then Billy has to come home to Oklahoma to quote unquote go to the funeral.
Yes.
But then he finds out that Brady's still alive, which he's pissed about.
Yes.
But the only way he was going to come back to Oklahoma was if he thought that Brady was dead.
Because
the mom she's stuck in a home.
But she's only like, I don't know.
She's not even in the movie that much.
No.
Which I found really weird because it's Susan Sarandon, so you think that they would have utilized her a little bit more.
Yeah. But she's only like, I mean, what, 60? And she's in an old folks home. She's basically got like some mental issues.
Yeah.
But basically, Billy, I don't know. It's weird. I mean, his brother is obviously a criminal, so he kind of wanted to distance himself.
Yeah.
He didn't really respect his mother.
Because of the way they were raised.
Yeah, she was more of a partier. She would just use drugs and smoke pot
he says something in the movie about like he tried to even went out of his way to study people who grew up in the 60s and try and figure out why they were the way that they were, and he still wasn't able to wrap his head around why she was the way she was and why she made the decisions that she made. Yeah. Because in his opinion, she was a terrible mother to both of them.
Yeah.
And
he's got mommy issues.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why Brady had to basically have somebody call and say that he had died.
Well,
to get him to come back.
Yeah. And so then Billy comes back to town. Brady's got this idea that he's going to go talk to Pug, and Billy is going to masquerade as him back in town.
Yeah, so Pug
So
is
he hasn't-
up north or south. He's somewhere else.
Right.
Several hours away.
Right.
And then back in Little Dixie. Yeah, and he's going to meet with Pug because Pug, it's been like a year since he rented or loaned him the money. And so he's like, I want my money, which is about $200,000, I think. Or he wants him to start, they didn't really say what, but he wants him to start producing like meth, I think. They want him to start.
Yeah, they wanted
producing
to up the ante a
other
little
stuff,
bit. Yeah,
other drugs.
Yeah, and
he don't.
Brady
want to do
was
that.
only about the pot.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the first things he says in the movie is that he's not about pills, he's not about powders, he's all about.
He said he's like, I've done ecstasy once
Right.
or something,
Yeah,
but
something
other than that,
that was okay. So then let's go. Okay, and then movie happens. Brady kills Pug.
Yeah.
And then the goal, and he knew he was going to go up there to kill Pug.
That's why he needed
Billy to
back.
stay back at home as a alibi.
Yeah, and so
they're twins.
He didn't tell Billy he was going to do that because
Right.
Billy would have never done it. But he's like, go see Mom at the home, and there's a sheriff that for some reason is always at the home. Guess that's just where he's stationed.
Security.
Yeah, but he was the sheriff.
Small town.
Yeah, true. And so he's like, all you need to do is go in there and say hi to the sheriff and
Go visit Mom.
I'm going to see my mom.
And then leave.
And he had him do it in an accent. So
right.
he knew, he didn't know he was pretending.
I really liked Edward Norton's performance. Edward Norton's performance is easily the best thing about the movie. He's really great at, I mean, it's your typical one guy playing two parts kind of thing and kind of just killing it. He does he's a very good actor.
Yeah, I like Edward Norton. He's played a lot of different
roles.
And he's
a lot of
nailed
different
them
characters. All. Yeah.
In my opinion.
I would say that Billy is more personality-wise kind of just has the same tone of voice and mannerisms as Edward Norton would. And then Brady is still Brady was more of he still had the Oklahoma accent. Heavy Oklahoma accent. He's a heavy stoner.
Yeah. Yeah, like
not obviously not as educated, doesn't talk with the same vernacular.
Yeah, it's not even like a heavy accent. It's like he tells Billy to lay down. He goes, "Lay you down."
Yeah, it's very
it's
completely
crazy.
different speech patterns.
Yes.
Which he kills. It's very hard to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And he does a very good job at it.
Yeah, you can't tell that.
And even when he cuts his hair and shaves his face and acts like Brady, you can tell that it's Billy acting like Brady and not actually Brady.
Yeah.
Which is, again, very hard to do because he's basically playing a character playing a character.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a very nuanced type of talent too. Yeah. In my opinion, I thought it was great.
Yeah. Interesting movie. It was one.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's super memorable.
No. It was just. I don't know. It was just one that I.
Why did you choose that one?
I don't know. It's just one. I like to choose ones that. I mean.
Not that I didn't like it. It was. I like watching movies I've never seen before, so I thought it was like a really cool.
Basically, what it was,
and it was an Edward Norton that I hadn't seen, so I was down to watch it.
When I did used to drink a lot, one of my big hobbies is like I'd go to Redbox every day, and get Redbox movies, and it was just one that I mean, when you do that, you go through a lot of movies, and I go get movies that every once in a while I get one that it's like. That's a pretty good movie. It's not spectacular, but it's a pretty good movie that almost no one that I've ever met has actually...
Yeah, I mean, literally until you mentioned the title, I had never heard of it.
Yeah,
But I mean, Susan Sarandon's in it. He's in it. Kerry Russell's in it.
Yeah.
Oh, and the guy who plays Bulger, he wrote and directed it. Bulger's Brady's friend.
Oh yeah, Walter.
What's his name?
Buster Scruggs.
Yeah, that guy. That's not his real name, but.
Well, no, that's what he's really famous for now. I mean, because he
Tim Blake Nelson.
He's a director.
Well, he's in a ton of stuff.
But not
he's never the leading role.
No, that's why I like Buster Scruggs. That's because that was like his
I've never
first,
watched Buster Scruggs.
I've seen him in
it was really good.
I've seen him in some other stuff.
He's
I
in
don't
a ton
know.
of stuff.
He's in a lot of things, but never.
He's in a ton of movies. He's always either a very
goofy bastard.
Yeah, he's a goofy guy.
Yeah,
and he plays weird characters,
and he plays it well.
And he's never on screen for too much time.
No.
But I like him a lot.
He's
cool.
I gotta watch the Buster Scruggs stuff because I haven't.
I heard it was good.
The idea of like several short movies kind of deterred me away from it, but yeah. Anyway, so he goes up. He basically tells Pug.
He's in Heavyweights. He's the guy at the beginning of Heavyweights that is visiting the house and is telling them about the fat camp.
Yeah. He looked a lot different back then.
Yeah.
He was like, I remember he's like skinny. He didn't look as goofy.
He's younger.
He looked taller, from what I can remember from that scene. But
Heavyweights is a good movie.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Oh
yeah. I love watching movies from my childhood.
Me too.
That's one of them.
Hands down.
I go back to, and all the Mighty Ducks and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, Brady goes up to meet with Pug, and basically it was to he didn't say he was gonna go kill him, obviously, and he didn't really intend to kill him. He just knew it would be a possibility. He asked him, he's like, just give me a little bit more time to get your money, but I'm definitely not going to make hard drugs for you.
Right. And then Richard Dreyfuss was basically like, give me the money or I'm going to kill you both. And then he was just like, all right, well, I'm just going to kill all of you. And then the director guy was like, bam, bam, bam.
Well, yeah, he had two people, and he's like, if my money's not in that bag, kill them both.
Yeah, and then
he said some weird shit.
Yeah.
He was like, one of the lines, he's like, if you stab me, I'm damn sure I'm going to bleed. Or something.
Yeah, it was
an interesting character.
It's kind of a weird movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird, like the guy with the long beard that shoots him at the end.
At the end, yeah.
You know, I was trying.
Okay, so that was another thing that I liked is so at the beginning of the movie when Billy finds out that Brady died, quote unquote.
Yeah.
He finds out that he died because he got shot by a crossbow.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie, Billy gets shot by a crossbow.
And he's like telling people because I think he lived.
And Brady ends up dying.
Yeah.
Which was, I was surprised at that. I didn't think that was gonna happen. And then once Billy got shot, I was like, oh, they're both gonna die. But then Billy doesn't die.
Which they didn't really show, but yeah, like in the start when.
Well, they show him alive at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Because he's just sitting there holding hands with Carrie Russell.
But they didn't. Yeah, they didn't really. I think did they even show him in an ambulance?
No, they showed him at the hospital, and they were like, it's going to be a long recovery.
And
they basically flashed to once he'd recovered, and it was like Mom, him, Carrie Russell, all happy and sitting outside in Oklahoma.
Yeah, and he didn't go back, obviously.
And he didn't go back to being a professor.
Because he had a woman.
Right. Well,
that he met.
Well, and Carrie Russell in the movie is basically there as like.
Oh, is that who that was?
The girl.
Yeah.
The girl that he loved.
Is she in stuff? That's the
she's pretty famous.
Oh. I feel like that's the only time I've ever seen her.
Carrie Russell has been around for forever.
I don't know. I like movies. I don't know actors and actresses very well, but yeah, he met her and
she's like a poet, yeah. So that was kind of like the connection, but because she's always like spitting off poetry throughout the movie. The few scenes that she's in,
she's not a heavy part of the movie. No,
it's pretty much him the whole time.
Yeah, but she's
everyone else kind of just comes and goes.
She's the only intellectual person in Oklahoma.
Other than him.
Yes. Yeah. Because I think that's part of why I liked her. I mean, she's a good-looking gal, but she's intellectual, and I did like when they didn't have an argument, but she recited a poem of, I think, Walt Whitman.
Yes.
And then he's like, yeah, I don't like that because he's not following any...
The rules
of poetry. He's not following any rules, and then she says one of hers, he doesn't know it. She just starts spitting off a poem that has not following any rules. And then he's like, oh, who wrote that? And she's like, that's one of mine. Which I don't like poetry even when it follows the rules, but I agree with him. Because even the two that they're complete bullshit. They mean nothing to me.
I mean, I don't really know that much about poetry.
I mean, yeah, maybe if I knew.
I've never really studied it.
I'm not sentimental about words either. Like when like he was acting like it hit him hard, what she was saying. I was like, I don't even know what she's talking about. There was a lot of shit when he was teaching the class at the start of the movie.
Oh, they just went right over your head.
Oh, so much. I couldn't understand
like
any of it. No, all the words I'd Googled a couple when I watched it again and tried to figure out what he was saying, but so so Brady goes and kills Pug, and Pug's a Jew.
Oh yeah, there was all that
Jew
stuff in it. Which is kind of...
that's how it gets figured out. It's weird. It's jumping around, but so if you haven't seen the movie, you're going to be very confused. But
I mean,
he met
another Jewish guy on the plane.
Yes,
and
that guy is.
Hilarious. I've seen him in a couple other things too.
He's just got a funny mannerisms and facial expressions.
Yeah. So then, and then he meets him on the plane, and then later in the movie, sees him at church.
He sees Brady at synagogue. Is that what they call Jewish? I think so. We'll say
temple?
Jewish church. Yeah. It's Jewish church. It's temple or synagogue, or I'm not a religious person, so
it's not. It's
synagogue. I think.
I think you're right.
But
I'm definitely wrong.
I think temple. Well, the one is definitely.
Temple is someone else.
I think that can be. Maybe they call it a couple. Like, oh, I'm going to church or I'm going to service. Yeah, it's all these. But anyway, so Billy meets this Jewish orthodontist on the plane to Oklahoma. He sits next to him. They kind of start talking. And then when Brady goes up to synagogue to find Pug, he goes in with Bulger, and he sees Pug, and Pug's like, "Oh, we'll talk later. But the orthodontist is also there, and he sees
recognizes
Brady,
him, thinks that it's Billy,
and he's waving to him, and Brady's like,
yeah.
He's like Brady. To Bulger, he's like, I don't fucking know that guy.
Yeah.
Because he has no idea why the guy's waving at him. So then after Pug's killed, that orthodontist kind of puts it together
that he had his twin, because he does some internet research and like figures out that Billy was a twin, and then finds out where he is, figures it out. It's just like, okay, so he used his brother to go up there, kill the guy. So he knows that, because the Pug is a big philanthropist, and has his name all over.
And he donates a ton of his money to Israel.
Right. And a bunch of other stuff too. And so then he goes to the house. Everyone's at the house. And then he basically accidentally kills. Well, he goes there to kill him.
Not really.
Or turn him in.
Yeah, he goes there to turn them in.
And then accidentally kills.
And
Brady.
It's got to be stated that he was like heavily in debt. So his life, the Jewish orthodontist, his life were in shambles. They actually were. He had a practice in New York, I think, and he had to uproot it and go to Oklahoma where it was more affordable because he couldn't afford it. But he's heavily in debt. Has high amounts of stress. His family, they're always yelling, and he's freaking out.
Right, so he was like hoping if he turned him in, he would get some kind of
I don't know, maybe.
Reward,
but it's also just like, well, you think if a guy's a super happy orthodontist, like well-established, he might call the cops or something.
Right.
But this guy goes to the store, picks up a gun, and at first he's like, I don't need any bullets. And the gun owner, or the gun shop owner, is like, if you're going to get a gun, you better get some bullets. So he gives him like some hollow points. And then, yeah, he goes down, and it's as Billy's going to be on his way back. Bulger's going to take him to the airport. And Billy, Brady, the mom, Bulger,
Carrie Russell,
and Brady's wife, who's from 2.5 Men.
Never watched it.
She plays Rose, the stalker. I don't know what else she's been in other stuff, but basically the orthodontist rolls up and he's like trying to figure it out and everything. And Billy talks him down because he's like pointing the gun at everybody. Join the group.
Right.
He's freaking out. He's acting crazy. And Billy kind of talks him down. And then Brady and Bulger, Billy's like, just go home. And Brady and Bulger are like, well, he kind of knows some stuff. We can't just let him go home.
Right.
And so they kind of charge at him.
And
then he shoots Brady.
He does it on accident.
He shoots him with their own gun because Billy takes his gun.
He gets it. And then...
Yeah, there's a car. They had a gun originally, and the orthodontist took it from him, so it was still leaning up on his car. And then Billy shoots the orthodontist just kind of as a reaction after he shoots his brother. And they didn't really say if he died or not.
No, they didn't.
Guess it didn't. He got shot by a hollow point. It was just in the stomach. But, yes.
Okay, so then Brady dies, and then Billy basically goes to that bearded guy who works for Pug and is like, I'm going to sell you all of Brady's equipment because I need to pay. I have all these debts and trying to pay off Brady's debts and all that stuff. And then that doesn't really go the way he thinks it's going to. And then the bearded guy shoots Billy with a crossbow. I mean, right through the chest.
Yeah, they're walking out, him and Bulger. They're walking out of this like abandoned warehouse.
From behind, and it's just, I mean, you see the arrow come straight out of his chest, and you're like, oh shit, he's gonna die, but he actually doesn't end up doing it. He doesn't end up dying.
Yeah,
So.
It missed his heart by whatever, and his arteries by whatever.
Then he survives, he recovers, flash forward, they're all sitting outside and hanging out, being happy, and then him and Carrie Russell are holding hands, and then there's the Walt Whitman book, Great Leaves of Grass, right there. And I'm pretty sure that's the only reason why the movie's called Leaves of Grass. That was the only reason. I mean, it does. Other than the fact that they mention Walt Whitman in the movie,
and the book she's a poet,
and she's a poet, and then the book, they're sitting basically like we are, holding hands, and then the Leaves of Grass book is right there. It's like the last thing you see as they pan up.
Yeah, that part
which was kind of weird, but also like whatever, I don't care.
The people they probably just came up with random. Yeah,
I thought the movie was going to be called Leaves of Grass because Brady sold weed, but
maybe. I mean, that's before I did any research. I was like, I kind of thought the same thing.
Yeah.
It was like.
But the weed part about it wasn't even that big of a part of it, of the movie.
That's just the reason he owes all this money to this criminal guy.
It was more that they just mentioned, I mean, they probably mentioned Walt Whitman and weed equal in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Walt Whitman they said a couple times, and weed they said a couple times.
Right.
So, yeah, it was very interesting, and that's why I kind of looked, because I don't know anything about Walt Whitman, so I thought maybe it was a book. I didn't know he was a poet.
Yeah.
I thought he was, not to say poets aren't authors, but there's a difference.
It's a different kind of author.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought he was an author. And I go, I'm pretty sure he's older. And I go, I would be really shocked if he wrote a book in the early, like, 19 or the late 1800s about a guy that grows weed and he's got a twin brother and he goes up to I was like, that doesn't make sense. So I did some research and I was like, yeah, they're really not related at all. The movie and the book, but it was a good movie. You liked it?
I liked it. It's like I said, it's not that memorable, but it was a overall it's a solid performance by Edward Norton. And
it wasn't a waste of time.
It wasn't a waste of time in any way.
It's one of those, I compare it to, have you ever seen Everything Must Go with Will Ferrell?
Is that the one, he's got like some kind of yard sale?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I think I've seen
So
that.
I compare it to that. It's like, it's not an uplifting movie. It's not a scary movie. It's not a thriller. It's just like a
story.
Just a story, and it's just a random one. Everything must go. Back when I was drinking, because basically in that he's an alcoholic and he gets thrown out of his house, but he just stays on the lawn, and the cops are like, you can't live on your lawn, and then he meets a kid, and I don't know, I can't remember.
I don't even remember. I think that was one of those movies that I thought was gonna be a Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah.
10 minutes into it, I realized it wasn't, so I was like, I'm not into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
but I know what movie you're talking about.
I did like it. But yeah, it's definitely not. I don't remember him saying a funny thing in it the entire time.
It was like his first dab into like serious roles.
Yeah.
And more serious roles and less comedic roles.
Yeah. And he dabbed in it, and I don't think he's dabbed in it much.
He's dabbled.
Has he? What else? I can't think of anything else.
There was this thing, I just saw a trailer for a movie it's either a movie or a show that him and Paul Rudd are going to be in, but it looks like it's kind of serious, and like Paul Rudd is playing his therapist, but then they become friends, but then Paul Rudd is kind of like overbearing and controlling or something. I can't remember. They both have beards in the trailer.
What was the one where there's like a translator?
Are you talking about the one Stranger Than Fiction?
Yeah.
That's the one where
That's a serious one, right?
Yeah, it's not it's kind of a comedy, but it's definitely more of a serious movie where what's-her-name is like writing a book and he's the star of the book, and then he ends up like
I haven't seen
everything she writes he's doing, and then he kind of figures it out. It was kind of weird. It was also kind of in that early serious time.
Yeah. It was probably around the same time. So.
Yeah. But
yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Did you what question did you have, or did we already talk?
That was it was the thing about the title of the movie. Just like it being not really related to the movie at all, other than the fact that Walt Whitman is mentioned and talked about poetry and
the gal's a poet,
and she's a poet.
And Walt Whitman, I guess, to be a poet, I know he was very political. I think he was a Democrat, which back in the day, I don't know. I think he was more like, I don't want to say social justice, but the summer I read didn't have a lot, but I think they said he wasn't super famous when he started out because he had radical ideas. I think those radical ideas were like, I don't like slavery. So,
An early pioneer.
I don't think he was, because you have the Democratic days of like the KKK,
right?
Which I don't think it was like that. It was more like, let's not have slaves.
Yeah.
So
understandable.
Yeah,
it's a reasonable.
Not a bad guy.
Yeah.
But
sure.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe he was academic, because I kind of thought it tied into Billy being like a philosopher type, academic type. I don't know if Walt Whitman fell into that, but yeah, interesting movie for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to watch.
If anybody wants to watch it, it's
a
solid B.
Yeah, I think that was a good C plus B.
C, B
minus. My girlfriend thought it was incredibly boring.
Yeah,
which
I can see her thinking.
If you don't like a good, it's not thought provoking,
but
a little.
It's not. It's kind of hard to put it in a genre.
Yeah, I think that's why I liked it. Is like, this is a movie
because it's not a comedy. But there are a couple of times where I laughed.
Yeah, that's why it's like Everything Must Go. It's like it's just there is no.
It's just
genre.
a movie. It's a movie.
It's not a thriller. It's not a comedy. It's not scary. It's not action. It's just a pretty basic story with very little action.
About a guy who has to go back to his hometown, and then he gets caught up in a little bit of drama, and then something happens, another thing happens, and then the movie's over.
Yeah. I think I like Ed Norton a lot too. Is probably why. If they would have made that same movie with not very well known actors, if somebody would have played the part well, but I think Ed Norton did a great job, like you said.
For sure.
And
I definitely think his if anything is worth watching for the movie, it's his performance.
Yeah, it
playing
is.
Billy and Brady.
Well, and you forget that he's not a twin.
Right,
And they do a pretty good job hiding it. There's a couple scenes where you can
kind of tell that there's like
I don't know what it's CGI or green screen or whatever.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell it's not terrible, but I mean, even to the naked eye.
But back then it was. I mean, it's almost 2022 now, so like that kind of technology.
And it was only
insane.
It was only a couple scenes really.
Yeah.
That it looked that bad. I can't remember if it was like. They did some scenes really well where you couldn't tell.
They did do a couple of scenes that were done well, where it's like, oh, it looks like
both
they're
of
both
them
there.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of where they're standing, and there's one where they were standing in front of a window, and you can really tell that it's one of them is standing behind a green screen.
Yeah. Yep. There was a couple.
I mean,
for the most part.
Again, it's one of those things where you might not notice if you're not trying to look for it.
Yeah.
I kind of always look for that kind of stuff.
That's the part about it that I enjoyed about his performance is I don't think I just noticed it when it came up, but I didn't ever look for it because I kind of got lost in the story.
Right.
And really, he does a great job acting to where I'm like, I forget, and then I'm like, there's these two different characters.
It's two different characters, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Yes. C plus B if you don't like thought-provoking, like if you don't like the opening scene.
And it's not even that thought-provoking, I would say. I would just say it's kind of just a story.
It's an interesting idea.
And it was pulled off well.
Yeah.
And
some good actors in
it.
If
you like Edward Norton or Kerry Russell or
did you notice the one part
time Richard Dreyfuss is in the movie?
Yeah, not long. He's a weird character.
Yeah, but
the bearded guy was weird. I was trying to decide whether it was bad acting or they just I know he was supposed to be playing a really dumb guy, but he just sounded so weird the way he talked.
It might have been the like Oklahoma-ness of it too.
He was meant to be played that way.
It is Podunk, Oklahoma, which I thought they did a really good job. Is Oklahoma the Midwest?
Dude, I'm the worst. My worst subject in school was geography.
Well, I mean, mine too, but I'm just saying,
I just recently figured out that Idaho's here and Oregon's over here. Is it the opposite? California's down here, and then Idaho.
I don't know where you're pointing or moving your hands.
Here's Washington.
And then Oregon's right below us.
With California.
And then California's right below Oregon. Directly below Oregon is California.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And then directly to the right of us is Idaho.
Yes, that's what I said, basically. After that...
For our international viewers, we are in Washington State right now.
Yes, but that's all you get. But after those four, I got nothing.
You don't know where anything is.
No, I couldn't connect Washington.
Like if I told you, like, hey,
connect Washington to New
describe
York.
to me where Bosnia is.
Bro, I'm talking about I don't even know the United States. You think I'm gonna know where Bosnia is? I'm telling you, I couldn't. If you told me create a route from Washington to New York with states, I could make it to Oregon or Idaho.
Well, you wouldn't want to go to Oregon.
No. I could go to Idaho and then Utah?
Montana.
Damn it. And then Utah.
No.
Okay. Well, yeah. Anyway, not a geographer.
That's okay.
For sure.
We're podcasters.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need to be a geographer. So what...
Okay. All right. Are we done talking about the movie?
I think so.
I think so.
The one thing. The sheriff. Big fat guy.
At the home?
Yes. Did you notice his eyes?
Were they crossed?
No. I'll show you later. That guy's got a condition, and I've seen him... No. His eyes... Because he was in some episodes of Justified, and he's got the same thing. His pupils shake like that. Like, it's the craziest thing. I'm going to show you after this. But I just wondered if anybody else ever noticed, but I've seen him in 2 shows, Justified and Leaves of Grass, and he's got some eye condition where his pupils just shake really fast.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Okay. Maybe it's like
it's basically like Parkinson. It's like he's got Parkinson's of the eyes.
I bet there's a name.
Are you allowed to say that? I'm sure there's a name for it. Yeah.
I'm not a doctor.
We'll do some research. No, I could be. No, I couldn't. I wasn't an academic for sure. I was more like
Mr. 2.7 or whatever the fuck you said.
2.69.
Oh, that's worse than what I said.
Wow, by 0.01 points.
Yeah, well, I still.
But I didn't try.
Overestimated your GPA.
I didn't try.
Well,
I could have been. I'm
lot of
smart.
people-
I can figure stuff out.
No.
But you know, school. You know what it is to me? They need to.
Did you
teach-
drink when you were in high school?
Oh yeah.
Oh, see, I did not.
Yeah.
I did all of my drinking between like the age of 22 and 30.
Yeah, mine was like earlier than
12
that.
to
No,
30.
no, I was the last one.
12 to 28.
I was.
How old are you?
What? Huh?
30?
Yeah, almost 31. 31 in next month. Now that it's November.
Oh yeah, your birthday is in December.
Yeah.
We're both Decembers.
Oh yeah.
We should do a birthday podcast.
Yeah, where we interview each other about.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Why not?
Because
you don't want to learn. You don't want.
I've learned so much about you, but we don't need to talk about each other's past
Well,
lives.
it doesn't have to be like.
Yeah, but you'll end up asking me a question that I don't want to answer, and I'll be.
We're gonna prod him.
And then
for the
I'll
answer.
be stuck answering.
Well,
it.
it'll be an hour and a half of like, Mom, not just
I'm
like
not
when
saying that. Yeah.
when I asked you what your favorite song was last night. It, like the biggest.
That's. I mean, it's asking someone what their
You-
favorite song is also like
But-
asking them to pick their favorite movie. It's
It-
not.
no,
You can't
no,
just say
no.
You can't, there's no answer.
No, because your reaction wasn't.
I was doing
No.
that. I was acting.
Your reaction.
I was acting.
Your reaction.
I'm an actor.
Your reaction
I'm an
wasn't like, I don't know. I really can't pick one. You're like,
No, because
you're like this.
I wanted.
No, I don't want. No, I don't want to answer.
Yeah, and because
And
I
I'm
was
like,
trying to be funny, and I just didn't want to talk about it.
Did you hear me tell him what mine was?
No, I did not, because I didn't care.
Well, that's real.
What is your favorite
I'm
song?
not gonna tell you now.
Oh, okay.
It's
Well,
Royals.
by what's her name? By
Yeah.
Lord?
Yeah.
That's your favorite song
Yeah. You know why?
of all the songs.
Yeah. You know why? Because that song could never come on where I'd hit skip. And Psycho by Post Malone, they're in these like very slow, mysterious.
I honestly would have pegged you for like a. I wouldn't have thought you would have picked something that came out recently.
Well, yeah, I don't know much. Like like Psycho is one of the same. It's just like a slow, kind of mysterious. It puts me in a different place type of song, and I just like them. Like Fireflies.
Yeah.
Not that that's my favorite, but it's like that. It's like it is weird.
Yeah.
You know, but other than that, I mean, that's the only Lord song I know. Psycho's the only Post Malone song I know. I don't really listen to the radio. My longest running favorite song is Fat Lip by Sum 41.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, that's
that.
I
I would
used to
have.
watch
I would have
TR.
pegged you for like a
I'm not really a
punk
music.
rock kind of guy.
I'm not really a music guy.
I knew that, but
I listened to like the Beatles and Elton John because
Yeah,
my
and-
parents would play it as a kid. That was the music I listened to.
I'll tell you one thing. My go-to karaoke song is "Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me" by Elton John.
Yeah, my go-to is never to do karaoke.
Oh,
in
we'll
my
get you
life.
to do karaoke.
I guarantee you won't. I don't drink. The biggest chance you would have is to get me drunk and talk me into it. I don't drink
What if
anymore.
I paid you? Because I know you like money.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean,
If I gave you $50, if I gave you if I just handed you a $50 bill and was like, you got to go up there right now, pick a song, and you have to sing in front of everybody.
it would
Let's
depend
go.
on the audience. Like, is it a random bar or a bunch of people I know?
Which one would you prefer?
Probably a random bar. I don't even know what I would say.
It's easier to sing in front of people you don't know than versus people you do know.
I hate karaoke because there's two types of karaoke that you see. You see people that go up
and are really good.
and they piss
then-
me off the most. Like, you
Well,
see the
there's-
people that are bad, and it's like, this isn't fun to listen to,
No.
screeching
Yeah, you're
cats.
right.
But then I seen, like, I was at a bar, basically a karaoke bar, and a guy was singing Santeria.
Yeah, but
And
that's
he was hitting it perfectly, and I'm like, this son of a bitch
is showing up.
comes to this bar every weekend
and sings this song.
and sings Santeria
Yeah.
every time.
For the praise.
Drives me nuts.
Yeah. But
infuriates me.
There's a difference between those kind of people and people who are just naturally gifted and good at singing.
Yeah, there's those.
Because a person who's naturally gifted and good at singing and isn't trying to boast about it isn't going to sing a basic karaoke song, because there is a very long list of these are the songs that everyone sings at karaoke. It's like fucking Sweet Caroline and Hotel California and
Baby Got
Back. Yeah, for sure. And a real person who has some talent isn't going to sing those songs. They're going to sing a song I couldn't even name right now. And I'd be like, holy shit, that person is really good.
And Santeria is...
I'm like that kind of person.
What, you think you can sing?
I am a very good singer.
I don't even want to hear it. But
I wouldn't.
Well,
one
of these days.
One I wouldn't sing right now, because you didn't give me any reverb.
Well, if you need reverb, you're not.
Can you
a very
do it
good
right
singer.
now? Could
No,
you
I can't give it. It's a mixer to where I can shut your mic off, which would be hilarious to get you to sing and then turn it off.
Yeah, that would be kind of.
But yeah, no. Other than that, I mean, it's a basic mixer. I can do like that.
What is that? What would you just do?
That's just silencing you or changing your level. So it'd be like, I can't imitate it. But anyway.
All right. Well.
All right. Next.
I'm a really good singer.
I used to be an honors choir. I think I would have been.
Choir is different.
No, it's not.
You're not singing by yourself.
I used to have an okay voice. I can hit inflection really well.
I don't even know what that means.
Oh, you don't?
Hit inflection?
I think that's how you say it. Like,
no.
So when you're, no, I can't even think of how to describe it.
That was good.
So when you're, like, when you sing a word a certain way instead of like.
So you're good at enunciating when you sing?
No, stupid. Inflection.
I know what inflection is.
What is inflection? How would you describe it to me? I know what it is. It's hard to describe, man. Right? Fucking describe it to me right now.
I want to know what you think inflection means.
Inflection.
Did you turn my mic up more? It sounds louder. Am I loud?
I did that at the start. Mine's a little lower because I have a strong, like, masculine voice.
Are you saying my voice is feminine?
I'm not saying feminine. It's just softer. I talk so everybody can hear.
Yeah, I do know that.
Inflection is like what tone you sing in, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Like perfect example, Step Brothers. Like somebody could sing, "She's got eyes," but how the kids sing it is, "She's got eyes, eyes." That's inflection. That's not inflection.
No.
She's got eyes.
You're talking about the little
skies, and not skies. That's inflection.
I mean, I think we're describing two different things, because it sounds like you're just kind of describing
is that not what
the
inflection?
way he sings versus the way he says it when he sings.
Which one of those is inflection? I'm looking it up. I think I'm right.
I don't care anymore.
I don't think you know a change in the form of a word exactly where.
But in terms of singing, just because he does
to express it,
like brings the note down a little bit more, that's not really the inflection of it. That's more of just like.
Well, that is
like a tiny little run.
It does say inflection is typically the ending of the word.
I guess. Okay, whatever. You're right. You're right.
I don't think I am. I think inflection's more of a grammatical term, but you know what I'm saying. I can hit inflection well. We'll call it that. I can hit inflection well. Like, I know how to sing. I was in a terrible car accident, and part of my voice is paralyzed now, so I appreciate it.
That's why you mispronounce words all the time, too.
Well, probably got some brain damage. So, for those of you who don't know, you know, I talk over here. This is why my seat's on the right.
Right, because
if
you turn to the left.
Yes, if I look over here, and that's not even trying to do that. It's not acting. It's just how my voice is, because part of it's parallel. I'd love to be able to sing like I used to. But
you could just, I mean, you could do it like this and just
maybe we have you as no, because it's hard to hit big notes. Even my right side is still super soft.
When you were a singer, did you sing, when you were in choir, you were a bass, baritone, tenor?
I was like right below a soprano. I didn't get I don't have a low voice, but I used to have a really high voice.
What?
Were you gonna ask me when my balls dropped?
No. What kind of choir would have you be?
What did you say? What kind of choir would have you? And end of sentence.
Yes, I mean, I'll just end it there.
It was middle school.
No choir should accept you.
It was middle school.
It was obviously not. It was one of those let anybody in choirs.
It was elementary school where I was
anybody.
When I was in honors choir.
Still let anybody.
It was still not everybody.
Did you have to audition for it?
Yes.
Okay.
And it wasn't, it's elementary school, it's not that big of a deal, but I did get selected to do it, and not everybody in elementary choir did. And then, when I got to middle school, it was just me and a bunch of buddies, and then every concert we just lip synced, and my parents would be pissed. Because I don't want to go to your concerts if you're just going to lip sync.
How would they know you were lip singing?
It's very obvious. I didn't try and hide it. I thought it was hilarious. So, bad person, whatever. They didn't need me singing anyway. There was good singers in our middle school choir.
Okay.
But I'd love to hear you sing sometime. We'll go to karaoke's.
Oh, no, I don't like karaoke.
Okay. I talked you out of it?
I'm just not a karaoke guy. I used to be. Obviously back when I drank, it was...
That probably makes it a little easier.
It does, but now, and I think I've told you about this before, now that I don't drink, I have, no desire for the spotlight whatsoever.
Yeah, I still do.
I do not.
Yeah. I like to joke with, what I like is, I don't like to be the center of attention, hey, it's your birthday, let's have a birthday party for you, and everybody can say...
Yeah, no, see, that's different.
If we're at a party, and you and me are BSing, and jib-jab, and bantering, I want other people to hear me banter at you, and you banter back, because they get enjoyment out of it.
Yes, I don't really like that anymore.
You don't like it? I don't know.
I don't seek it out. For sure.
I feel like you do.
I don't. I really don't. Honestly, I have no desire. If it happens naturally, I don't do. If I don't know. I don't really. I don't. I just don't like the spotlight at all.
But I drag you into it.
You drag me into it because we have this banter that is just kind of we're both kind of loud.
Yeah.
And it seems like a lot of people we're around don't talk as much as we do, so it just kind of happens where you and I are talking and then everyone else isn't, and then everyone just happens to be listening to us.
And they'll chime in.
Which is fine. I like that. That's why we're doing this right now, is because we talk so much all the time, is we were like, we should just do this and record it.
Yeah, it's super easy.
Yeah.
I have a phobia of silence in certain, at a party, if a bunch of people are sitting around and then 5 seconds of silence hits and I'm like, all right, bring something up. And so I'll just go to you and tell you you're an asshole or something, just to get the ball rolling, get more conversation going.
Sure.
All right, so now it's your turn to assign me a movie.
Okay, so I have a couple of ideas. There's
Why can you never pick before the fucking episode?
While I was watching the movie, I thought of several. I was... And this is another thing that's hard about doing this, is because when I'm watching the movie that I've been assigned, it's easy to be like, God, this is a good Edward Norton movie. You should also watch this one.
That is, it's like,
But I don't want, like we did last week. I didn't want you to assign me a movie that Leo had been in.
Yeah.
No, or not anybody else in that movie.
He does great movies, and it's not to say we won't ever do a Leo or Ed Norton, but...
Or even another Christopher Nolan movie, or whatever.
Back to back is...
Back to back is a little much.
Yeah.
And just... No, we're not going to do that.
No. So
there is one movie that Edward Norton is in where he's not the main character. He's kind of just in it. And it's really good, and I don't think you've seen it.
Well, we can't do it, so
Okay.
you can maybe save it for later.
I'll save it for later.
Save it for
because I also really want to rewatch this movie because I haven't seen it since I saw it in theaters, I think.
Okay. So now how many you got it down to? 2, 3? Have you have you done any work on your short story?
I wrote down an outline.
Okay. I know I was going to do that today, but I was moving stuff on.
I wrote down like a actually, I wrote down a lot.
Yeah.
That I'm looking at.
Are you doing it in your phone?
Yeah, I mean, I really need to get a laptop or a...
Do you want to borrow one?
No, because then I'm just going to want to keep it.
It's really shitty. I mean, you could keep it for the November. I think it's got Word on it.
No, I think I mean, if I'm going to do that, I might as well just use... I mean, I have a laptop, but it's so shitty and old.
Oh, yeah, this would be the same.
Yeah, it would be the same, so I could just do it on that. I mean, I'd probably, for now, just write it on my phone.
Can you type or write faster?
Write handwritten or type? I probably type.
Yeah. I
am not like 100 word per minute kind of guy.
I'm not even like a don't look at the keyboard.
Oh, I'm
a pecker.
Oh, yeah, no.
I peck really good.
No,
I'm a pretty efficient pecker, but I just have to... I can type pretty fast, but I have to stare at the keyboard.
Yeah, I'm probably like 40, 50 words a minute.
I don't even know what's good or bad. I just... Not part of the
I don't know
world.
what's average.
Yeah.
I mean, I know freaks that are like 150, 200 words a minute or whatever, but...
Yeah. I don't
Those are people that probably type for a living, or like
they're
typing stuff out for a living. Like
stenographers.
That's different. That's like shorthand.
I thought that's typing word for word what happens in...
I know, but they have a different keyboard.
Oh, do they?
Oh, yeah. I think.
Like what? Like it has the word "and" in it?
No, I mean, it's have you ever seen one? They don't look like real keyboards.
No.
Okay, well, whatever.
All right, I'll look it up later. All right, anyway.
I don't know anything.
I have to work
Don't
on
take
it.
anything I say for face value.
Yeah.
Let's do this. This is a movie that... I'm going to do it. You need to watch the movie Gravity.
Is that a space one?
Yeah.
Is that the Matthew McConaughey one?
No. Because that one's a Christopher
Nolan
movie.
Is it Sandra Bullock?
Yeah.
And...
George Clooney.
Okay. What?
No, that's it.
I guess I can't ask questions. I thought we said no space movies.
Yeah, but we can't do that. That's not fair.
You just have such
I never put a cap on. Oh, you can't assign me any movies that have to do with India.
Okay, it's not like my ethnicity is space.
Yeah, but you said no space movies, and I was like, well, fuck you. That's a stupid stipulation.
No, it's
There's
not.
plenty of good movies that take place in or involve space. This one, I'm picking for a very specific reason. 2 very specific reasons. 1, I know that you hate space movies, but 2, this movie is stressful.
So a bunch of space stuff comes into play.
Yeah, but you said, this is the thing, is you said that you don't like space movies because you don't know anything about space and you don't like learning anything about space. I'm not asking you to know anything about space or learn anything about space while you're watching the movie. I'm just asking you...
Will I? Because here's my thing. It's not that I don't know anything about space. It's the fact that space is the #1 thing that scares me.
Well, I know. That's why I wanted you to watch it. Because this movie is like one of those movies where you just be like, oh, fuck that.
I can watch in a completely pitch black room. I can watch the scariest movie by myself.
Well, just watch this movie
at midnight, and then I'll walk downstairs in my underwears to go get a soda and not turn on a single light. I don't get scared by stuff. I mean, a jump scare.
Okay, well,
But space, it's the thought of where does it end, and then once it ends, what's beyond that?
Well, okay.
And then people are like, oh, it doesn't end. And it's like, well, that doesn't make sense.
Well,
and I don't like it.
And that's space.
And that's why I don't like it.
Well, I'm going to
hate
watch
space.
it. You're going to watch it. You're going to watch it. You're going to watch it, and I'm going to watch it because I haven't seen it in a really long time, and I really want to rewatch it.
It's not that old, is it?
No, it's not terribly old. It's not terribly new. But
I mean, like, what, 5, 6 years?
Let me look it up. really quick.
I think it's only like 5 or 6 years.
No, it's been
I'll
a
peg
while.
that as the
It's
new.
It's older than 2013.
So 9 years.
That's not terribly old or terribly new.
I think every single movie we've done
Has
was
come
made
out
between
in
2009 to 2012, 13.
I know. We need to bump it up into the late teens a little bit.
Or back down into the 19.
Well, you could watch Mr. Holland's Opus.
No, I'd rather watch Space.
Okay.
At least I know there'll be some action and it's not some jackass writing a symphony while he teaches.
He's not a jackass. It's Richard fucking
God.
Dreyfuss. You are such a
He's a
sack of
jack.
shit.
Oh, have you seen What About Bob?
No.
Really? Have you heard of it?
Oh, yeah.
Timestamp. All right. We'll watch I'll watch Gravity. You'll watch Gravity.
And screw you. You might have to fucking rent it because I've already lost $9 watching the 2 movies that you made me
You didn't
watch.
have to pay for Leaves of Grass.
I did.
Your fault, because I showed you 9 different places. I Googled it. I know that's not like tough for people to conceptualize.
I don't have Amazon Prime.
I told you could use my Amazon Prime. It's
Wow.
on
Fubu, you would have to...
It was on Tubi.
Tubi is not free.
It is absolutely free.
Well, I don't have that one. Whatever. It's not a big deal. I'm not
I-
really bitching about it. I can spend $4. I'm not cheap like you.
I'm not cheap. I'll spend money on good
You're
stuff.
thrifty.
Thank you. Appreciate that. This is...
Speaking of thrifty...
This I didn't get at a Goodwill. I would be more happy with this shirt if I did get it at a Goodwill, but I think...
you like paid it $40
I
for
didn't.
that shirt?
I didn't.
Oh.
I think she got... I don't think it's a Zoomies, but
Oh,
it
so
was...
it's like a $60 shirt.
No, it wasn't a Zoomies purchase. I don't know.
But
I
it's
didn't
a
buy it.
Zoomies like...
If I saw
clothing
this...
store.
If I saw this at Goodwill, I would buy it.
In a heartbeat.
If I saw it at Zoomies, I would not buy it.
I agree.
So, but I didn't buy
That's
it.
a very 90s shirt.
Yeah. I hate that
I
they're
should have
coming
it.
back.
You should give me that shirt.
I might, because
That shirt and that bag.
I'm getting
taking
not
it.
the bag.
Taking
You're
the bag.
supposed to take somebody
Taking the
else's
dog,
bag.
dumbass.
You can take the Ace.
No. Oh, wait. Which one is the one I like?
Ace?
Yeah, I'll
Yes.
take Ace. He's the cute one.
No, wiener dogs.
Okay, so
everybody
Gravity, Sandra Bullock, George Clooney, this time next week. You're going to watch it.
loves. Okay.
And
then
anything else? Do we need to talk about anything else? Do we want to talk about anything else?
I'm gonna figure out
Anything else you
what
want to bring up?
I'm gonna figure out what you hate the most.
I don't hate things like you do.
I'm gonna make a movie about my life
I
and
would-
make you.
Yeah, I would hate that.
And it's
I
just
would
gonna
hate
be
that.
me
That would-
narrating
yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah,
and
I would hate that.
I'm gonna get a bunch of home videos.
I'm looking at my notes really quick just to make sure I covered everything. Yeah, we got it.
You only made one note.
No.
Yeah, as you know, after our Inception episode, it's.
I mean, I wrote down a lot.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I didn't this time.
There was another movie I wanted you.
What was the other one?
The other one was Cloverfield.
Yeah. The crazy part is that we've done this. What is this? Our
This is our
third
third
movie?
time. Yeah.
And we haven't yet. I mean, I knew you hadn't seen Seven Psychopaths, and then you knew I hadn't
We haven't
seen.
assigned
We've
movies
never
that we've actually seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that would have come up by now, but I guess a lot of them. Leaves of Grass, I knew you probably hadn't seen, but I didn't confirm it with
I mean,
you
all the
before.
movies I wrote down, I'm pretty sure you haven't seen.
You're just writing them down?
Well, when I was watching the movie, I did the thing where I was like, oh, that would be a good movie for you to watch. Thinking of Edward Norton, but then I was like, okay, well, I can't think of Edward Norton, so then I started.
What was the one?
Have you seen the movie Birdman?
No, I thought he was like the main guy in that.
No, Michael Keaton.
Oh, it's Michael Keaton and Ed Norton.
Yeah.
And there's
a
scene
bunch of other people in it.
in his tidy whities. I did get spoiled on that one, unfortunately.
What part did you?
Because Norm Macdonald had Michael Keaton on, and basically, spoiler if you haven't seen it, because it's spoiled for me. But they were like, Norm was like, "Come on, he didn't fly at the end."
But that's not even
fly.
like a.
I know it's not. It doesn't ruin the whole movie.
It doesn't even ruin anything about the movie.
But I mean, basically,
The movie's
he
great.
dies at the end.
Well, it's kind of like.
Or does he? But
yeah. But that's
it does.
a very that's a very minimal
it's not like the
part of
perfect storm where you say now they all die.
Yeah.
And
but that is a good movie.
I am not spoiling that one or giving a spoiler alert because that movie's 25 years old.
It's not that old.
It's probably 20. I think
Yeah.
it came out when I was about 10. I've only seen it a couple times, but it was.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, was that Mark Wahlberg?
And George Clooney.
Yeah. I forgot they had such a hard-hitting cast.
And there's a bunch of other people in that movie.
Is there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that one. All right. We might get a better camera. I tried to hook up my GoPro Max, but GoPro is son of a bitch.
GoPro, we need one.
Don't sponsor us because you're trash. That's
GoPro?
I bought the 360 GoPro Max. I mean, I love GoPro. It is a great camera, but I can't even hook it up to my MacBook.
What do you use your GoPro for?
Fishing.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But I'm selling my boat, so.
Why? Just because
I didn't get to use it much. And it's, it's expensive, man.
Yeah.
It's my monthly lease and my insurance, and then I used it 4 times this year. And I spent probably $1,000 just this year on fixing stuff. And I've probably spent up to $2,000 in the past fix. More than that, I had to replace the entire axle on my trailer with my buddy.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like.
I love having a boat, and I'm heartbroken that I have to sell it. I don't have to, but
you should.
I'm gonna get a motorcycle.
Are you still gonna get in the motorcycle?
Oh, that hasn't left my mind.
You haven't mentioned it in a long time.
I'm just waiting to sell my boat.
You're gonna get a motorcycle in the winter.
Yeah. Perfect time.
You're gonna get in another accident.
I'm not gonna ride it.
You're gonna get a motorcycle and then not ride it.
I'm gonna get it. Well, whoever I sell my boat to, they're gonna get a boat and not use it because it's a bass fishing boat, and bass fishing is over. Oh, you messed up one word. It was the hardest word. I shouldn't do Donald Trump.
You're not impressive.
I remember you said that the other day.
I said it the last time we were here.
And I never really thought about it, and I tried to do several.
And you were bad at it.
It's so bad at it. It's like I almost want to try.
Can you even change your voice to not sound like what you sound like?
Well, I mean, besides my raspiness, I can do like, I would be more of like a Martin Short type. Like I could do really quirky voices. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay, never mind.
But those were a couple. I changed my voice.
For like a sentence, but I'm saying.
Well, I could do it more. But what can you change your voice?
I mean,
Yeah, you're not
we'll
gonna
get
do
into
it
this
because
another
you're
time.
a chicken
I am
shit.
not a chicken shit.
I don't care
I
what
just don't
people.
like to boast my talents.
I don't care what people
That's why I
think
didn't
about
sing.
me.
That's
I'm
why
not
I'm not gonna do
embarrassed of
voices.
what people think about me. So I'm just
Danny boy.
from role models.
The pipes are calling.
That's not a bad voice.
Yeah,
I wanted to make fun, but I could tell. I mean, you didn't put any effort
into that. No, I didn't, and it's still.
But I could tell. I could tell that it's not bad. Oh, okay.
Do what I just did.
Oh, Danny. All right. Oh, Danny. See, I can't. I'm a high. But the Step Brothers. She's got ass. That's my only singing voice, and I know it's not
falsetto. You can only sing in your falsetto.
There's a name for that?
Yeah, your head voice is also known as your falsetto.
There's a name for it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do people actually sing? Because I know it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not. Mine's not great, but it's better than like my regular. Oh, Danny boy. That's not good at all.
Yeah, that's not.
My falsetto voice.
Yeah, I mean, like
it's a little.
You didn't.
It's
know
a little
that?
annoying.
I can't believe you didn't know that.
Well, I was in middle school choir and I lip synced.
And then you never heard the word falsetto before?
I recognize it, but I didn't know it was your head voice.
Yeah. Some people have better head voices than others. You can also work on it and get your head voice to be better. Your voice is an instrument. You have to practice. It's a muscle.
Your body's a temple.
My body is a temple.
Your body's... Yeah.
My body is a temple,
you eat
and
healthy.
your voice.
You eat
your
burgers.
voice is.
You eat ground beef, so it's not like. That's not temple-ish. Your body is.
Okay, Mr. Spaghetti on top of macaroni.
Well, I'm not saying I'm any better, but you act like.
No, I'm way better.
Oh yeah, you are. I'll admit you're way better, but I wouldn't say your body's a temple.
It is.
You do pretty good. The ground beef is the only thing, because drinking-wise, you drink soda water and coffee, which they say can be pretty good for you if you drink it black. Don't drink a ton.
No, but you're not supposed to drink a shit ton of coffee. Like I'm not one of those people that drinks coffee all day. You are.
Yeah. I love it.
You're gross.
I'm an addict.
I can't. I mean, I definitely get to the point where after like halfway through the third cup, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm done.
I wouldn't say it's gross to drink a lot of coffee.
It can be.
I don't know.
Whatever.
All right.
Okay.
Anyway.
End of the thing.
Gravity
next week.
So excited. I'm so excited to do this.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I would really like you to watch it in the dark.
I'll watch it in the dark. What is Michael Myers up there? Jason?
No.
What is it? I'd rather watch Jason in space. Jason
Isn't
X.
that a movie? I think that's a movie.
Jason X, they call it.
I've never seen any of those movies.
Awful. You don't like horror movies like that?
I mean, I'm more open to watching them now. But
have you seen Hellraiser?
No.
That's one of my
That
favorites.
movie's old.
I like Pinhead. Oh yeah, it's
no,
real.
yeah. I would go to the movie rental store when I was a kid, and I saw the cover of that, and it scared me. I was like, why does that guy have pins in his face?
He was he was always the one like Freddy Krueger.
And my mom was super Christian, so just the word hell was like, ooh, I don't like that.
She's like, not allowed in our house.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, well,
he is
go to hell,
basically
Mom.
He is basically a servant of Satan.
My mom's a saint.
Yeah, Dorothy Mantooth is a saint.
That was a good line.
Thank you, Anchorman. All right.
All right. See you next week.
Oh, what?
Wow, that was right.
We get together on the day to day, and we hit the dance so we can complain because life is good. Whoa, so good. We get together on the day to day, and we hit the dance so we can complain because life is good. Whoa.